Okay, this is People of the State of Michigan versus Robert Van Buren, docket number 20-701FH. Mr. Van Buren, this is our first meeting with each other because you pled guilty in district court. So can you just tell me that you're okay with doing the sentencing without you being in the courtroom?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Thank you. So this is the time set for sentencing, and you were convicted in district court of carrying a concealed weapon. That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. You are represented by Mr. Hess. Mr. Hess, have you had a chance to go through the pre-sentence report with your client?
Yes, and in fact, I emailed it to Mr. Van Buren, and we both had a chance to review it.
Good. And do you have any additions, deletions, or corrections?
No, Your Honor.
How about any objection to the scoring of the guidelines?
No, Your Honor.
Did the people have any corrections to the report or objections to scoring?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
And did the people wish to be heard?
No, Your Honor, thank you. I think the recommendations are appropriate.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Hess, then I'll hear from you.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I don't think there's a whole lot to say here. Mr. Van Buren takes full responsibility for his actions. He's barred under state law from having a firearm because he would still have to petition this court to reinstore his firearm rights, which is a process. It's mainly bureaucratic. He would be able to do that, and hopefully he does get around to that process. It's also against state law to have the firearm in a vehicle unless you have your CPL. Mr. Van Buren apparently was helping his daughter out with something, with helping her, to showing her a different way to carry it with a holster or something, and still had it on him when he went to the junkyard to get some parts. So he shouldn't have done that. He knows that he shouldn't have done it. He accepts responsibility. This case has moved through the court system faster than any other felony case I've ever dealt with. So we're here today, and I think Mr. Van Buren has a lot of life experience. Reading the pre-sentence report, looks like he spends most of his time with his family. He's got some health concerns, so he's just trying to live the best life that he can and help his family out. I respectfully ask that the court follow the recommendation in the report and sentence Mr. Van Buren to probation.
All right, thank you. And now you, Mr. Van Buren, is there anything you wanted to say?
Not at this time, ma'am. I'm
Okay.
willing to accept what happens, so.
All right. I don't have a whole lot to say either. You don't have any glaring issues that we frequently see in the criminal justice system, like substance abuse and things like that. I think that although you're not new to the criminal justice system, I think that you could certainly complete a term of probation successfully, and it will mostly be for monitoring purposes to make sure that you're complying with the law as we go forward here. So I'm going to place you on probation for a period of 18 months, 2 days in jail with credit for 2 days served. You have to pay $130 to the Crime Victims Fund, $68 in state costs, a DNA fee in the amount of $60, oversight fees in the amount of...
Is there something in the background that's humming?
The only person it could be is Mr. Van Buren. Mr. Van Buren, I'm going to mute you because there's something interfering with our
My
audio.
grandkids was going up the steps, I'm sorry.
Okay, no, that's okay. Okay, so $60 DNA fee. I don't know if I said Crime Victims Fund, $130, state cost $68, oversight fee, $180 payable at the rate of $10 a month. I'm waiving any costs to help Mr. Van Buren out in his financial situation. And conditions of probation are will be no use or possession of alcohol or controlled substances, drug paraphernalia, medical marijuana. Those are standard conditions, Mr. Van Buren, even when we don't see any glaring problems here. You must not engage in any assaultive, abusive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. No contact with anyone you know to have a felony record. You can't possess a weapon while you're on probation. You must comply with the written and verbal orders of your agent. Let the agent into your home at any time. Submit to a search of your person or property without need of a warrant. Report any changes to your agent within 24 hours. And you have the right to file an application for leave to appeal your conviction and your sentence in this matter. You're entitled to an attorney at public expense to assist you in doing that. If you're making a request for one, you have to make it within 42 days of today's date. We will mail you the form that tells more about that and the form that you use to start an appeal. You should just be sure you understand that the time period to do that starts today, and it's 42 days. And then the other thing I'll ask you to do, Mr. Van Buren, is to please get in contact with the probation office within 24 hours. They don't see people in person right now, so you'll just need to give them a call. They'll want to go through your probation terms and have what they call an orientation with you. But make sure you make that contact within 24 hours. If you don't know the phone number, Mr. Hess can help you out on that. Okay? And if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself, but if not, that will conclude your sentencing hearing, Mr. Van Buren. Good luck.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. And that takes us to people of the state of Michigan versus Valentino Wallace, docket number 20-638FH. And this is the time set for sentencing. Mr. Wallace, if you could unmute yourself now that we're up to your hearing. And can you just confirm for me that you're okay with doing the sentencing without having you in the courtroom?
Yeah, it's good.
All right, thank you. You were convicted of carrying a concealed weapon. That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years in prison. You have the right to be represented by an attorney. You are represented by Mr. Austin. Mr. Austin, have you had a chance to go through the pre-sentence report with your client?
Yes, I have reviewed it, Your Honor. I sent Mr. Wallace a copy of the pre-sentence report electronically. He acknowledged to me that he has received it and reviewed it as well.
Okay, do you have any additions, deletions, or corrections?
I do not, Your Honor. I believe the report to be accurate as well as complete, and furthermore, I have no objections to the scoring of the guidelines.
Thank you. Do the people have any corrections to the report or objections to scoring?
Only, Your Honor, in the criminal history section, he only has one offense, obviously being this one. The date is the one I have, I think says, yeah, from 2000, just to correct it to be 2020. I just saw that.
Right. We'll fix that. 2020, both places. They didn't repeat that anywhere else.
Not that I saw, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Then I've corrected that. And that was your only correction or objection?
That's correct, Your Honor. Same with the scoring guidelines. I think they're correct. And we also have no comment as to sentencing. We'll leave that to the court. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Austin?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Wallace stands here as a very young man. He's 18 years old. This is his first conviction of any kind. He has no prior juvenile history other than a truancy matter. He has finished high school and he's now working full-time. He lives with his mother, so he has good family support. He is acknowledged what he did here and that it's wrong. What I can say is over the course of this case is that Mr. Wallace has been compliant, keeping in touch with me. He's appeared for his court dates. He has not had any bond problems that I'm aware of, and I think that is a pattern of behavior that would continue during a course of probation. And I am going to ask the court to follow that recommendation and sentence Mr. Wallace to a term of probation, which I believe is appropriate in this case, given the 0 to 3 guidelines, which are as low as they can be. And I believe he'll be successful at that. And I would ask the court to grant our motion that Mr. Wallace be sentenced as a youthful trainee to allow him the opportunity to earn a non-public record for this offense.
Okay, thank you. And now, Mr. Wallace, did you want to say anything?
Yeah, I understand what I did. It was wrong. I shouldn't have did it.
Okay. Thank
That's
you.
it.
Well, you have a lot of positives, actually. High school graduate, full-time employed, stable living environment. I would expect you to succeed and do very well on probation. I just have to warn you that, this stuff, I don't know what was going on here with some kind of a big feud, but you can't let other people sort of press your buttons that way. Don't let other people decide your behavior. You decide your behavior and you be in charge, you be in control. So just because someone has some beef with you doesn't mean that you have to just respond to it. You can choose a different course, and you have too many things going for you that are good to risk throwing them away by letting other people incite you to do something that you shouldn't be doing. So I'm going to grant your petition for treatment under the Homes Youthful Training Act and place you on probation for a period of 18 months, 3 days in jail with credit for 3 days served. You have to pay $130 to the Crime Victims Fund, $68 in state costs, oversight fees in the amount of $180 payable at the rate of $10 a month, costs in the amount of $500 based on the State Court Administrative Office calculated average cost of a criminal case in Ingham County. Additional conditions of probation are no use or possession of any alcoholic beverages, controlled substances, drug paraphernalia, or medical marijuana. Comply with both drug and alcohol testing at the discretion of your agent. You must complete the MRT program. You must waive confidentiality and allow any program you're in to disclose information about you to your agent. You must not engage in any assaultive, abusive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. No contact with anyone you know to have a felony record. You may not change your residence unless you first get permission from your agent. You may not possess a weapon while you're on probation. You must comply with all the written and verbal orders of your agent. Let the agent into your home at any time. Submit to a search of your person or property without need of a warrant, and report any changes to your agent within 24 hours. You must be in your approved residence between the hours of 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. unless your agent gives you a different schedule that the agent approves in advance. And you must make genuine efforts to find and maintain employment, a minimum of 30 hours per week. Mr. Wallace, you have the right to file an application for leave to appeal your conviction and your sentence in this matter. You're entitled to an attorney at public expense to assist you in doing that. If you're making a request for one, you have to make it within 42 days of today's date. There is a form you use to do that. We will mail it to you. You should just know that the time period to appeal is 42 days and it starts running from today, but the form tells more about it. And the other thing is that you should be in touch with the probation department within 24 hours from right now. So if you don't know their number, Mr. Austin can provide it to you, but you'll need to pick up the phone and call them and get your probation started within 24 hours. Okay, do you have any questions, Mr. Wallace?
About the little thing I gotta pay, how much is it? All of it added.
I'm sorry?
Okay.
What was that
About
again?
the things I gotta pay. What is it I gotta pay?
Oh, you've got to pay a number of things that some of which I can't waive or do away with. They're required by law. Your agent will go through them with you when they do their probation orientation, and they'll give it to you in writing as well. But it's payable over the course of your probation, not all at once. So I would not worry about it right now.
All right.
Okay? Anything else?
Yep.
You're all set then.
All right,
Good luck.
for sure.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.